bunch of stuff. All this stuff is all going to Iowa to come right back down to Hilton Head. One of the people I met through the Catalina sailboat owners group had all this stuff for sale, and we didn't want to drive 5 hours to Atlanta.
Claudine, I gotta go inside real quick.
Okay.
And then push all this in, okay?
Okay.
You hold it?
He was selling all this stuff. We were looking for a pop-up slider, and it ends up he has all kinds of stuff. It's a Catalina 22 he found underwater in a local lake here around the Atlanta area, and he pulled it out with a buddy and took the boat apart and sold it for parts. So now I guess we're taking it home. Let's see what we can use for our per diem. Hatch doors, the little doors that go in the cockpit on the benches or the seats.
He said it had a sliding galley.
Motor mount.
We got a pretty good deal, so we ended up buying every single thing he had for that C-22 and taking it all to Iowa with us rather than trying to ship it home. With the thought that once we were done working there, we'd just drive it all home and clean it all up, figure out what we could use on our own boat, what we could turn around and sell or give away. After working in Iowa for a month, we flew home for what we thought would be a long weekend of rest, relaxation, and a few sailing lessons from my brother, who was dropping off my niece back to college in Savannah. Not sure the rest and relaxation ever happened, but we definitely learned a ton about sailing.
I have finally gotten...
I was one of the early.
You were one of the early subscribers. This is my brother. He's going to teach us how to sail.
You're going to teach me. It's your boat.
Well, yes. And this is my lovely sister-in-law. We've been in Iowa for a month, and now we're back for our weekend to get some rest before we go back to Iowa, so we get to sail for a couple of days. And it's 6:15 in the afternoon, and we're just arriving now to start sailing.
So here we are in Hilton Head with a beautiful sunset, and my brother is finally teaching me how to sail.
She looks awesome. We've been gone for a month. We missed you, our per diem. You're still not named.
Well, you've done all your research, I can tell, and you know all the different names of all the different...
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hopefully the weather holds up.
Yeah.
And when there's a current, it's not as easy as it looks.
And off we go on day one, and it's almost 7 p.m.
So how low is the keel right now?
Right now it's only 2 feet because we haven't dropped it yet. Rough.
Hey, man.
What happened when you let go of the hook?
Let go of things, Titi.
So we got through this little mishap where I let go. I started pulling on this sheet and realized that I was pulling the halyard that was not yet attached to the mainsail at the top. So as I'm pulling the sheet, thinking that it was the jib sheet and not the mainsail sheet, I pulled the halyard too high. So Donovan had to step on the boom and climb up the mast and reach the tip of the halyard and pull it down. And then we pulled it down on the wrong side, so he had to climb back up again to put it on the right side. And lesson learned, if you don't know which sheet goes to which halyard, don't just pull without having the other end in your hand. What a dumbass.
Our first evening sail started out pretty smoothly. The winds were not bad, so we were able to put the sails up pretty easily. My brother eventually took over the tiller, so Dono and I could both work on the sails, especially after I showed myself to be a complete ninny letting go of the halyard.
This is not good.
Hey,
It's like
is there supposed to be all that water in there? Oh, Lord have mercy.
Okay, what, accept?
You just gotta touch right there.
A little night sailing.
Probably it needs some. No, it's okay. It gets, here's the problem. It gets the wind that's picking up the mainsail, right? eats it. So you've got to, I can't turn too much left. Right?
That looks
Just to
like
be
a.
in the wind direction.
That's not very
The only way that works is if we then pass it to the other side.
14.
So this is about as tight as I can. There it is. We're going to turn the very short. Okay.
Ooh. It's so dark and it looks so scary, but there's no rain coming down, so. Okay, so to document, I didn't get anything on video for the last hour because we were busy panicking, thinking we were gonna die. Nah. So what has happened? So the sun set, we were tacking back and forth. We were going 3 knots with the wind at our backs beautifully. We were trying to make it back to the marina without motoring. And at some point we decided that we were going to bring up the keel. And there is a cable that holds the keel. And somehow it got hooked onto the teeth of the circular things that you turn to get the keel up and down. The cable's stuck to it. It still is. We still have the keel down. We motored back with the keel down. So Donovan's gonna come back in the daylight and try and figure out how in the world to get that cable unstuck without sinking the boat. And then we had to come all the way back in the dark, blind, basically using the Lowrance and the Navionics app. We did touch sand with the keel once. So maybe that's what got that cable stuck in the teeth. The lights work on the boat, except for the mast light. So we got, and then coming in the dark and backing up into our slip was not very, it didn't look very...
extra people to push off.
Yeah, but it didn't look pretty. We came in at a diagonal, and so I couldn't get off the boat. I couldn't reach the pier. It was interesting. I wish I could have gotten some of all of this on video, but...
It's hard when you have ropes wrapped around each arm.
I know. I know, yeah. When we finally made it in, the motor was basically jammed into the storage box over here. So I grabbed 2 of these ropes and pulled I lassoed the boat back.
Brother pushed off the next door boat.
Yeah. Yes, it was definitely not a beautiful ballet. It was more of a twerk than a ballet. Alright, so after the night we had last night, Antonine and Donovan came and fixed the keel this morning. Got the cable out of the teeth of the round thing right there. And we are now going to try and sail in the daylight with my niece, my brother, and my sister-in-law. Beautiful day. We just got completely soaking wet in the rain. Alright, is the Lowrance turning on now? We were having trouble turning it on. It wasn't plugged into the battery directly. Is it working now? Good.
Take two. Back at it. Gracie joined us. Trying to fix the depth part.
We're in.
Didn't hold that too long, did you? I got it now. I got it to the top of that. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
It's windy today.
Grab a hold of this. Hold it straight.
What's the depth then? Watch your phone. That doesn't
Watch your phone.
All right, we're going.
All right? Yeah. Let's begin here.
Now you guys need to tell me as in front of us as it starts getting some more shallow.
Okay. They got it. It's 7.1 knots. Woo! We haven't made any drastic changes to the rigging, so I assume it's all set up correctly, but I've wondered if the sail is supposed to be this low. See how it hits the pulpit right there? There's quite a bit of space up at the top, so you'd think the sail would go higher up so that it extends higher than the pulpit. The rope is pretty short though, so the sail won't pull up any higher, so I'm assuming this is all set up correctly. Which brings me to the next topic. Whenever we come about, the knot on the clew gets snagged on each and every one of the stays as it travels from right to left and vice versa. It doesn't make for a very smooth come about. Plus the fact that every time the knot hits a stay, it wears down the line, and at some point, that line is going to fray and split. I don't know, it just seems like the jib is just not properly set up. One of the many reasons why these videos are still getting made.
Donovan and my brother fixed the keel this morning. I think what happened was we set it down either too far or not far enough. But when we put the keel down yesterday, we did something wrong with it. The cable was kind of loose, and so when we hit the 4 feet of water without realizing it, when we hit the sand with the keel and it came up, somehow the cable came loose. And when we tried to turn the handle to bring the keel back up when we were done and we were about ready to motor, the teeth got caught up on the cable. So they managed to take that apart, that whole entire piece apart, and get the cable loosened and fixed it. But now we know. Could have been much worse, I guess. Oh, I guess we're doing something. Okay.
Looks like we're coming about, which is a perfect opportunity to show you how the clew knots get stuck along the entire way.
It's getting stuck in every single stay. Or, I don't know if you guys could tell from the video. So we gotta figure that out. I'm loving this, don't get me wrong, but I'm a nervous wreck. I need to, I guess once I learn how to sail and I know what I'm doing, because right now every time I just feel like the boat's gonna off into the water, and once I figure that all out.
I decided this would be the perfect time to do a live Facebook with my Catalina owners group and talk about the jib on the pulpit as well as the halyards hitting the stays, situations to get some feedback. If you're watching this, watch the clue right there, how it gets stuck on the stays. When we're coming about, it hits every single stay on the way and gets stuck, and one of my questions whoa, sorry. Just in case y'all didn't know, this is our fourth time on the sailboat. We're new to this, so please don't make fun. Anyway, I won't bore you with a repetition of those issues. Suffice it to say, this live post started pretty bland, and then things got a little crazy. I didn't realize it at the time, but apparently this was about a 20-minute live post, and listening to myself ramble on and on is making me dizzy. So let's edit the hell out of this thing and get to the good part. Any help that can be given? I can't obviously read your responses right now because I'm trying to hang on for dear life. But if you can put in the comments what your thoughts are on what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong, I would really appreciate it. This sail seems kind of it's not, I don't even know the terminology to use, but it just seems like it's wrinkly. Somebody just type one thing. Oh, there we go. Is your mainsail up to the basically up to the top? There's maybe, if I had to guess, about 7 inches from reaching the top. I pulled as hard as I could. But if I move right now, I'm gonna fall in the water. Do you put cons in the mainsail? Do I have the cons? We do have battens in the mainsail. It looks like 4 of them. Put a rope around the boom to pull it down. Okay, let me think about what you just said. Put a rope around the boom. Okay, let's see. Sails up and keel down, so you're doing great. Add a downhaul to the boom for your next trip. Downhaul. I'm gonna have to Google that, I'm sorry. Oh, we're safely on the water. Oh my god. Okay. Uh-oh, something just broke. Uh-oh, uh-oh.
Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go.
Oh my god, complete chaos. Something broke off the boom. Okay, I gotta go, you guys. I gotta put the sails down. Something just broke in the boom. This is so embarrassing. The boom, just something snapped and it just...
And I need the jib down first. Okay. You didn't acknowledge. I don't know if she's hearing.
Hook that up. Hook that other piece up to it right there.
Oh no. You have no boom. The wind just lets you go. You're better than just letting it go.
So it's going really snazzy right now. This is a taking. And currently we have TT attempting to take down the jib.
Donovan?
Yes, I am a pro boater.
It's not gonna swing and hit her, is it?
It looks like
No.
this
You need help to get it in the...
broke off something, which is somewhat important.
Do you need help to get it in the thing?
She's shoving that in front.
It's all good learning, guys.
This is all good learning. It's words from the wise.
You gotta know what you're doing.
The boat decided that this was it.
Let him go. Let him go.
You want him all the way out? Okay. I'm loose here. You got salt water in them, so you're gonna have to rinse it out.
So, what we've learned is you cannot connect that dinghy if you the whole boat will capsize. Cease to do the one thing it's
You
supposed
understand what I'm
to do.
saying, Donovan?
I guess we can do a little tour while we're at it, since we have more watchers. We have 14
Now the
watchers
wind
now.
hits you, it's got nowhere to go
So,
other than rip
we had a moment
all your wires
Of
down.
yikersness, where everything fell down.
What you're doing as
Not
it
best,
is you're
but-
acting as my line. Right. You gotta just be careful that it doesn't.
It's a pretty windy day out here.
I'm trying to get us into the wind, but I can't.
We have one other sailboat out there to our front.
What are we at foot-wise over there?
Oh, we're fine.
They've made it out pretty far, but we've seemed
Fine,
pretty
get over.
stuck because none of the women on the boat would like to tip over. TT has gotten the jib down, and now we're gonna have to lower the mainsail because the one thing that this boat is supposed to do, which is sail, is no longer in sight. We're having a good time.
Let it flap. If you pull against the wind, it makes it harder for TT to pull it down.
TT is showing us her mad gym skills. Her butt shot there. Okay. So he's tail mounting.
Right, so hold on. Now I'm going to try to get the...
It's pretty wavy out here. If you can see, I don't know if you can tell. The camera's a little choppy out here. this part too.
There, just like that. That's good.
I'll just put my feet against it and hold it down.
See that hook?
Hook right on the end, bro. Taking the entire sail out. Our mainsail was all the way up to the top, and we were talking about possibly lowering it. All right, well, see you next time on Catalina 222. Is this 22?
Can't have it flapping.
Let's try that one more time for the people in the back. See you next time on Catalina 22.